So what would you say, and then we'll get to the demo right after this, but the first, when it comes to the customer's experience, when they work with SLS, what would you say are one, two, or three of the main features of your portals that help from a customer experience standpoint? I have one in mind based on what you said to me, but I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Yeah. So from a customer experience standpoint, really it is starting from the deployment, right? So if you have 50 dock doors in your facility, we're going to deploy that facility in 2 to 3 days, from the time we start putting the first bolt in the ground until we're ready for go live. So a low impact to the front end of the business. The other side of that is sustainability, right? Is this portal going to get damaged and get replaced? A lot of what we compete against is antennas mounted on conduit. If that antenna gets tweaked, you need an engineer to come back on site to retweak that antenna to get it where it needs to be. Whereas we anchor it in the ground with 4 bolts. There's a breakaway foot design to it, so if you were to hit it hard enough to actually destroy any of the expensive internals, it'll actually break away from the feet. You screw the feet back in the bottom, bolt it back in the floor, you're good to go. Just use a longer screw. You can go pick it up at Home Depot or Lowe's. We send the spec to all of our customers. The other side of that, though, is let's say you do destroy one, which out of the 20,000 that we have deployed, we replace about 5 to 10 a year.
Wow.
So not a huge issue from our standpoint. But if it does happen, we track all the serial numbers and all the things around each individual unit that's out there. If you destroy one, you call us, you tell us the serial number. We'll actually send you a replacement with the exact specs, IP in it, configuration, all that all set up. You bolt it in the same 4 holes, swap the cables around, and you're back up and running. You don't have to have somebody come on site. Now, you can if you want. We have those capabilities too, but it's from a customer perspective, that total cost of ownership is important, right? Sure. And then interactions to the driver, right? We push everything to a UI for the most part, right? We don't want our drivers focusing up at a stack light while they're driving through the dock door. That can cause some issues. But that stack light is also there from like a health monitoring standpoint, right? It's showing you, hey, if it's blinking green, it's reading tags, right? If it's red, the antennas are off. If it's blinking red, I don't have a connection, right? If it's blinking red and you have a buzzer, that means you put something here that's not supposed to be here, right?
Sure.
And you're going to get that alert both on the UI and on the buzzer, on the stack light. But that interaction and feedback to the driver, but also for like the shipping supervisor or whoever may be around, right? They can get that feedback.
Sure. Yeah, so kind of my takeaway from that is it's very easy for the operators on the manufacturing floor or the shipping dock to understand what the status is of the dock door. One, whether it's working, because that's always a question, like how do I know my RFID reader's reading? So it sounds like the green light means you're reading tags, and then it sounds like there's some other safety features that say, oh, you loaded the wrong product. So that's valuable, I think, in itself for just maintenance and day-to-day processes for your manufacturing floor.
The one other thing to that too is scale on the side of scalability, which is a very big focus of ours, is the software on the reader, right? We're gonna read this tag. You've talked about it in your videos. I've seen it, right? Where it's, I can read a tag, once a second or 20, 30 times a second, right? None of that data, the way we run our system, none of that data after the first tag read is valuable, right? Sure. It's unimportant, right? For most use cases. So we control that. We're only going to output one message from the reader, right? It went on the truck, you're going to get that one message through. What that does is you have a low network traffic, right? So when you go to one of our customers, deployed 1,800 dock doors throughout their ecosystem, and they didn't have to upgrade, servers and switches and all this stuff, right? They just had to. We just ran it. The overall network bandwidth was low. They didn't have to change it because they were already barcode scanning, so not really that much different, right? So.
Right. Well, very good. I think it's the point of the interview where we head on over into the live demonstration, because sometimes pictures speak 1,000 words. So we'll just go firsthand. Matt will showcase the power and technology that is in an SLS portal system.